Welcome to another Pro Video Coalition podcast interview from the show floor at NAB. I'm here with Veritone. We have Sergey Kuznetsov, is that right? And Jen Good.
Yes.
And these guys are going to share a little bit about Veritone, which is a company that's very much at the heart of AI and really what it can do in terms of the M&E market. Now, it's not entirely M&E, right? You guys kind of hit a few verticals in terms of what the company does.
That's correct. Yeah, we have cover a variety of business lines. Right now, for purposes of this show, we're focusing on media, entertainment, and sports. We also have a government, legal, and compliance business line. So we work with a lot of large government agencies and local government agencies there. And then we also focus on talent acquisition and HR tech.
So that's a lot.
It's a lot.
And you guys have been around for over like 10 years, I think, to this year, which in AI is like an eternity. So for a company to be an AI company for that long is huge. What did you kind of start in, and when did M&E? It was right from the beginning, right, that you guys were involved in M&E?
That's correct. Our founders hail from a media and entertainment background. We've been in the AI game for a near decade now. We're playing the long game, and as the industry advances, we are advancing as well. Our goal is to really help our clients lead and not just adapt to AI. We want them to lead with AI. And so, this has been a decade-long passion for us, and we are looking to use AI to make people better.
Very cool. If you could talk to me a little bit about the whole advertising kind of tracking of what has effectiveness and what doesn't, right? If I understand, you're looking with your AI, you're looking at where you get mentions, where a company might get mentions in media, whether it's through paid advertising or through some kind of organic event, and then how that affects web traffic and that kind of thing. I think that's really interesting because obviously people are always wanting to know if their money is being well spent, if it's valuable, what things work, what things don't. So tell me a little bit about how that works.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's particularly true in linear broadcasting, which is where we're predominantly focused for that. And the goal is to really help linear broadcasters, both radio and television, be able to compete with digital channels. Right now, you see a lot of advertising flowing towards digital channels, but we like to think of radio and television broadcasters as sort of the original influencers. They have the ability to connect with audiences a little bit differently, and in order to keep their longevity, we want to help them safeguard their revenue. And so being able to show advertisers where their ads are mentioned, the lift that it provides to their website, we enable them to have that digital capability that channels like social media or things like that are providing those analytics do as well. And I'll let Sergey, he's kind of the leader in this.
We have a couple of products, Discover and Tribute, to really find and track mentions, both live reads or pre-recorded messages in linear broadcasting, and then measure the effectiveness of that. So find in broadcasting the message, the ad that was spoken, and then how did it affect bringing users to the website instantly. So we're showing almost a lifetime attribution of the traffic to the site.
So without giving away too much secret sauce, what does that kind of look like? Like, how does the data? How do you find that data? How do you correlate it with the web traffic, that kind of thing? Is it all secret sauce, or can you tell me a little bit about it?
I can tell you a little bit about it. So we do have ingest of live broadcasting. We also ingest schedules of radio broadcasters, and we also collect data from tracking sources. So, and we have several of them from Google Analytics to Adobe Analytics. We also actually just released our own tool, our own pixel, a Veritone attribute pixel that gives us flexibility to track close to real time and collect as much data as advertisers need. So through this live ingest, we correlate and then we can understand the attribution within attribution window. So within, let's say, 10 minutes of the ad airing on radio, we know who's going to the website.
So on content you already know exists? Like, are you matching it to, we know about this ad, and so we're recognizing that it's playing? Is that the main thing?
Yeah,
Right.
both live reads or as well as the schedules. Then we correlate to the traffic on the website, and then we measure the lift. How much more traffic did advertiser get based on the ads, and we break it down by multiple parameters, from geo to time of day to audience to channels. So really detailed analytics, and we help them. Then broadcasters share those analytics with advertisers.
Any kind of surprises that you found in the data where you thought, wow, that wasn't what we expected? Or
Certainly, as we measure lift and we share kind of the lift with advertisers, we found that it's actually very different from industry to industry. In travel, we see lift around 12%. But in education, it's 32%. So it's really different response.
wow, and that obviously makes a huge difference to how people decide to spend their budgets. Right?
That's right. Yeah, it helps to preserve or expand the budgets. In radio, that traditionally wasn't really measurable.
Right, that's very cool. Now, one of your big things at this show is the Ask Very. Do you want to talk a little bit about what the heck is Ask Very, and what's the problem it's trying to solve?
Yeah, let me lean in. Yeah, so I think what we're seeing now, traditionally, I think some of these legacy systems has really challenged media professionals with keeping up. Right now, there's slimmer budgets, fewer resources. They're having to do more with less. One of those things that's really important is not only how do I manage my content, but how do I measure the success of it? And so Ask Very is really putting data exploration at the fingertips of media management professionals so that they don't have to rely on outsized resources or extra large teams to get the data insights they need to do more with their content. And so when we think about like what are those insights that we're giving them, we can run a report and then we can ask Very to summarize that report and give us the key insights from that report, generally across all of their data within Digital Media Hub.
So can you give me an example of like a task that someone might want to pull off with Ask Very?
Yeah, let me give this over to Sergey.
So we're starting to Ask Very with a few use cases. Summarization is first one is essentially across the large report, give me a summary or tidbits and key findings. Search in the data. So if you got a report and there is a huge multi-page pure list of data tables, how do I find the data that I need? Trends, extracting trends from that data. Comparison, so things that are starting to get into more of data analytics realm. You can offset that and just talk in natural language with your data. Or maybe even service requests. So you don't understand what that terminology means. You can ask, what does this term means within this context? We can or Ask Very will answer, and it will help and guide. We also proactively suggest things to explore later. So next steps. So based on your questions, we'll provide either further questions to ask or explore, or even links to other reports.
Okay. And right now, if someone wanted to use Ask Very, what platform does it work with, and what's the kind of roadmap for expanding it?
Currently, it's part of our DMH platform. It's a digital asset management tool. We're certainly looking to expand that across all of our AirWare applications. So vertical applications in public sector, or even hiring solutions. But currently, we're going live at this show with the DMH solution.
And so it's available, like if you have your platform, it's available now?
It's in beta right now with a few clients, but it's going to be available free to all of the media owners, essentially users of DMH platform.
Cool. One of the other things I want to talk about is you guys, obviously you've been around 10 years, which has been really the gestation of modern AI. And I think no one really could have prognosticated where this was going to go and how quickly. I think even the people building the large language models were a little surprised by just how powerful they are when you kind of throw a whole bunch of data and turn the thing on, and it just does these amazing things. So you're committed to good for AI, right? This idea of, or is that AI for good? Sorry, this whole idea of actually making AI, making sure it benefits mankind, doesn't damage people. Obviously, in the film industry, that's a big concern right now. A lot of people concerned about whether the content creator jobs are going to be removed, what's going to happen in the long term to storytelling and narrative. So what are you guys doing to actually, what does that kind of practically look like, that strategy or that principle?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I think especially relevant to the media and entertainment industry, there's been a lot of fear around AI and what is that going to do and how is it going to be utilized. And for us, we know that your audiences are already using all of these tools today. They're ahead of a lot of the B2B businesses, and so we want to make sure that our clients have the same technology that their consumers are already using. But we want to make sure that it's done in a responsible way and in a way that empowers them to do their best work. The whole point behind AI, especially for us, is to make humans better. And we want to do that by freeing them up from the mundane work that may be part of their workload and allowing them to focus on their crafts and what they do well. And so we are committed to ethical AI. When we work with media and entertainment professionals, whether it's capturing their voice for further advertising work or to preserve it for future projects, in beyond, we want to make sure that everything is done with their consent, with the appropriate resources signed off on, and we're also able to tag that content to make sure that if it does get out into the space, that we're able to know the source of it and how it's been used to protect against any sort of risk.
So how do you handle that in a free market enterprise system where no one wants to be last to the gate, and so you potentially have a lot of other people who are not interested in, or at least not as interested in, equitable AI usage and attribution? How do you kind of wrestle with that? Is you just kind of trust that there are enough other good actors in town that everyone will play
I think there's
nice?
always going to be bad apples. I think our job is to really serve from a different platform with a louder voice about the benefits of AI and when it's handled ethically and responsibly, the good that it provides. I think what's different with Veritone versus maybe a lot of the newer AI companies on the scene today, we've been in this game for a long time. We have an upstanding reputation with media titans and sports franchises and entertainment, film industry. We have credibility in the industry and we're trusted by a lot of these clients to do the right thing. And I think it's a lot better to go with someone who's been around the industry for a while and knows the concerns and the risks and the liabilities, as opposed to someone that's new to the scene. And so we would encourage folks to do their homework. We would encourage them to speak with folks that sort of have that history in the industry, and there's going to be a lot of good to come from it.
Cool. People want to find out more. The website is?
Veritone.com.
Veritone.com. And where you guys, you're in the West Hall?
We are in the West Hall.
Okay.
Yeah. Then come visit us there.
So if you're at the show, West Hall, check out Veritone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you sharing with us today.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.